Vacation Bible School Crafts. Now, what I love about crafts, it's not what they're made out of. It is not about macaroni and construction paper, and it's not about the foam things, and it's not about all that. It's not about the glue, and it's not about what they take home, although I think that's great. I love for parents to see things that they engaged with that show what they learned at Bible school, but that's not what crafts is about. What I love about crafts is because crafts, that entire time, is all about relationship. Because when kids, when they open up the best, when they talk, when they process, when they relate, they do all of that better when they're doing something with their hands. And so crafts is really not about crafts at all. Crafts is a connection point where your leaders, where your craft team, where the leaders may be moving through the rotation with them, where you really get to know the kids, where you really get to connect with them, and you get to be intentional. What we used to teach our craft leaders was this. We would teach them on day one, start getting to know every kid's name. Learn as many names as you can. Now, if you're teaching the crafts and you have multiple rotations, that may be hard for you to learn every name, but learn as many as you can, because that way when they walk in the next day, you're able to call them by name. Now, their leaders moving with them, or that if leaders are with them the whole day, they have a much bigger advantage because they're going to be with those kids longer. But it still gives you the opportunity to learn their names. Day one, get to know them. Day two, begin to talk to them, ask them questions. What do you like about Bible school? What's your favorite thing here? So what do you do? What's your favorite hobby? Do you play any sports? What do you like doing? Just get to know them. By day three, you want to begin to turn those conversations to more of a spiritual, as far as, asking them, hey, can I tell you about the greatest thing that ever happened to me? And then right there at the craft table, share your story about how you gave your life to Jesus. And then the person you're talking to at the end, why not say, that's how I know I'm going to heaven. How about you? And if they're like, no, I don't know, would you like to talk? And if they want to talk, just slip out in the hall and have that conversation with them. I did a Bible school once where more kids got saved in craft time than they did anywhere else in Vacation Bible School, including the invitation. In fact, by the time we got to the invitation, there had already been so many salvation decisions in crafts that there were not very many lost kids left. I know that sounds amazing, but the reason for that was because I had a craft team. And I'm just going to tell you, they were not the craftiest people. They were not the best at crafts, but they were intentional about sharing Jesus. They were doing crafts for a purpose, and the purpose had nothing to do with glue and glitter. It had everything to do with helping these kids know and love and follow Jesus Christ. So I want to encourage you, be intentional in your craft time. Now, I know you're doing crafts, you've got instructions to make, and you've got things to pass out, kids are going to need help, but in the middle of all that, take the time. Don't just be hurrying and scurrying and gathering more craft stuff. Get all that done beforehand. Make sure when the kids come in, you can focus on the kids and you can deal with what matters most, which is the kids and not just the crafts. That's my take on crafts. I love crafts. Another craft idea is if your Bible school is struggling financially and budget, you're cutting back, look for crafts that can also be your snacks. And I'm going to mention this in the snack session also, because it lets you really kill two birds with one stone. They get to make a craft, but it's a craft snack. So they get to build something and then they get to eat it. Now the disadvantage is they don't take it home unless they make something like they're decorating cookies where they make one for them and one for their mom or something like that. But there are all sorts of very fun crafts that are done with food where you make it and then you eat it. A couple of last things I want to mention. One is I like crafts to go home every day. For one, it doesn't clutter things up. There's lots of space. For two, I like parents seeing every day what's happening with the kids. Now, I know some people, they'll hold the crafts because they want families to come on family night and pick up the crafts. And my experience has been that may work for a minority of people. But most people, they're not going to come on family night just because crafts is not going to be the big draw that brings them. Oh, we get to take crafts home. And so that's not my favorite thing to do. My favorite thing is for them to go home every day. But crafts, pray about it. Pray for the kids that are going to be making the crafts. Look for ways. Stop the craft at some point. Tie in the spiritual application. In other words, if there's a verse involved, explain it to them, even if it's while they're doing the craft. Because I know sometimes crafts, you don't have a lot of time, but make sure you make a point to give that spiritual application. Let craft time be more than just the craft.